Catus, Maximus here. This is the first time I've actually had a Bahco's hand tool. I know Snap-on bought this company in the 90s. I've had experience with their blades. It seems the most common Bahco product I've seen has been reciprocating saw blades and hacksaw blades, and they're actually pretty good. I know that they have been known for their adjustable crescent wrenches, and I can certainly see why. I used to think, and I still do, that the old diamond tools, Diamaloy ones, are still one of the best, at least of the American brands, certainly one of the best ones that have been made of the vintage. This, I know, is certainly old because it's made in Sweden, and it still has the Bahco. I don't know. I know the J is kind of silent. The Bahco and Company out of Stockholm. This happens to be the 969. But this really caught my eye. It's really pretty beefy. Even if we do compare to the diamond, we can see that there's quite a bit of steel in there. Really, just pretty darn beefy. Really well made. Pretty symmetrical with the broaching there. Jaw is nice and tight. Can be rebuilt. We do have a screw through there. And this one just has nice polish. Really nice finishing around the edges here. Really high definition on the forging there. That's like really super duper sharp with the text. Usually, I mean, most tools with the forging dies, they get a little worn, and so you get just a little bit of lower definition. But I'm really surprised by this Bahco. It's really just super nice. Not a whole lot else to say. Interestingly enough, if we look, it appears to be using square threads instead of what would be considered the standard buttress threads, but they're certainly plenty thick, and even if we open it up all the way to the extents, really pretty nice. Now, one of the things I was noticing, and it may be part of the reason why it's so big, is that we can see the jaw is pretty squared at the bottom, and on this design it doesn't quite want to close all the way. We do have an interesting effect where they've kind of squared off the center pin there. But other than that, and I know Bahco still makes adjustable end wrenches, and they're still pretty darn nice. I was looking them up. Pretty darn expensive because they're owned by Snap-on now. But I always kind of like the design like on these diamonds where you do have this extra kind of slant there. Actually, this diamond won't even close all the way. Where it kind of just gives a little bit of extra contact on that surface right there. And so I kind of appreciate that. But that's not to say this is a bad design. Even like protos and stuff will use a more squared off design like this. Other than that, not a whole lot else to say. It's really just seems like a pretty darn nice adjustable wrench. Never had a Bahco product before, but certainly has it where it counts. We can see that this one has definitely had some use. Definitely had a little bit of wear on the teeth, but they're not, or on the jaws, but not too bad. But more importantly, that hasn't affected how tight it is. Anyway, I know this is only a 4-inch example of a vintage Bahco adjustable end wrench. But if this little one says anything, then certainly we'll look forward to eventually finding some larger versions. A lot of times these little 4-inch ones, people don't give up because they like the cute little wrenches and they can be kind of hard to find. But just wanted to share this with you all. This is part of, I bought that McCaig and Hatch, this Bahco, and this Diamaloy all for 20 bucks at a garage sale. So I was actually pretty stoked about that for three little wrenches. Did not pay 10 bucks for this, although this Bahco is probably worth 10 bucks to tell you the truth. It is just a pretty well-made wrench. What I do like is when you open it all the way, it still maintains full contact with the back jaw, giving it just a bit of extra support right there. Pretty good parallelism, maybe a little bit of extra play when it's all the way open. And what I mean by that is if we compare to end, we can see that the bottom rail is actually quite a bit longer than it is on the diamond. So if we open the diamond all the way up, we can see that the jaw hangs off the back just a little bit. So that's actually a nice attention to detail on this Bahco. Really is a pretty nice adjustable wrench. Anyway, I really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus Maximus out.